I've started, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gayatri Garu. Hi, everyone. We will start today's session. Today, I'm really happy and I feel pleasure to introduce our speaker, who is a main pillar of this Divine Feminine Sangha, and she is well known for every one of us, Pranahita ma'am. So she channels light language, and she's gifted clairvoyant, and she does auto writing and auto drawing as well. And with her, she had with her speeches, she had changed so many people across the globe, and she is a gift. She is certified meditation coach as well. So, Prana ma'am, you can start, and it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Nivya. Thank you, and hello, everyone. So, today we'll talk about relationships. So, it's a 12-day workshop, as you all know. So, today we'll particularly talk about demystifying the puzzles of relationship, because a lot of people think that their relationship is a puzzle, whatever the relationship is. So, when we don't understand clearly, it looks like a puzzle, unsolved puzzle. But the puzzle, we have all the pieces. It's just that we don't look at all the pieces, or sometimes we don't know how to put it together. So the main thing is we have to understand why the other person is behaving the way he is behaving. And also we have to understand ourselves. Why are we behaving the way we are behaving? So actually, I was just thinking what exactly the topic to choose for this reinventing the relationships. And suddenly, I just saw a puzzle, and immediately this thought came into my mind. I have just written down, and I'll read it to you. I was looking at a puzzle that was finished by my daughter, and then these thoughts were coming. It is a puzzle of life. Life is like a puzzle. Sometimes people don't know how to arrange it or where the missing piece is. Slowly, as they arrange it, it makes sense. Because sometimes when we look at some of the big puzzles, we don't know, or we'll have a doubt on ourselves. Are we really capable of putting the puzzle together? So we have that doubt most of the times we'll be having. But when we start putting it together with uh, whatever the intelligence that we have at that point of time, or this is I'm muting everyone. So that's very important, my dear friends. So when we put that puzzle together, initially we may be having that fear, but slowly as we put it, it will start making sense, and finally we'll be able to finish that puzzle. The same way with each and every relationship. Sometimes we may not understand, sometimes it may take years, and sometimes it may take even lifetimes, my dear friends. So today we'll just understand some of the puzzles of the relationships, how people behave and why do they behave in such way. So we'll just look at that. Sometimes every situation in our life is like a puzzle. We may not understand at first, but slowly things start to unfold as you put the pieces together in the right place. How to know what is right place or right decision to be taken in that situation? So most of the times we don't know what to do. Sometimes we may take a wrong decision, sometimes we may take right decisions in our life. We don't know until and unless we realize after a few days or few years. Sometimes people repent on what decision they have taken, and sometimes people are happy about it. But the main thing is trusting the process of life. That is very important, my dear friends. So with that trust, we'll start this session today. So, today I'll be talking about different types of people, because only when you understand different types of people, then start relating it to your relationships, whoever it may be. It may be your spouse, your parents, your kids, your boss, or whoever it may be. As I'm talking, just start relating to people in your life, and especially start looking at yourself. What type are you? Why do you behave? Or what do you behave? In different times, different situations, we behave in different manner. So just observe. That is very, very important. So today, I'll share you something called Enogram. It is a very ancient, it is very ancient wisdom that is given to the humans. And Gurdjieff, he has again rediscovered or reinvented, and he has given it to the humanity. And the history goes on. There's a big history, so we really don't want to get into the history, but it will clearly explain the different types of people, so that we'll clearly understand the personalities of people. Then we will understand why are they behaving that way, because it always looked like a puzzle. Most of the time, sometimes we're irritated, frustrated, we don't understand the other people, why are they always behaving like that? Or even sometimes you yourself, you want to behave in another way, but automatically when that situation demands, or when that situation is there, automatically you just go and use the same pattern that you have been doing from past few years. So my dear friends, first let us understand this. I'll just share the Enneagram picture, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? Can anyone tell me?
Yes, yes, Prana ma'am, we can able to see the screen.
Thank you. So, the first one, so this is called an Enneagram. So, these are different types of personalities, all those 9 types of personalities. So, we'll go through each and every personality. And as I'm talking about those personalities, already as I mentioned, please look into your life. If possible, just note it down, or mentally note it, or just take a pen and a paper and note it, or even note it on your laptops, so that you will understand what type are you, what type of other people, why are they behaving the way they are behaving. So the first one is the moral perfectionist or the reformer. So these people, they always want to be perfect in everything that they do. Whatever that they do, even at home or at work, or when even if they go out, everything they want it to be perfect. They plan everything and they implement the plan exactly. So they are like very perfect. So they are mainly their core fear, because we'll also talk about why are they like that, what exactly goes inside them. They may be conscious about it or not. I want all the perfectionists here, whoever is listening to me now, just start thinking about all this person, all the things that I'm talking. Not only the perfectionists, but everyone, start observing. Even if there's any perfectionist in your life, start observing. So the main thing is, whatever the personality that we have now, most of the times it will be coming from some core fear. Because in your childhood, maybe you are disciplined too much. Or in my life, there was an example where there was a kid in my just LKG or UKG. And uh, and yeah, so he used to be very, very naughty. He used to hit all the kids in our class. Then the principal one day, he called his parents, and from then on their parents were very strict. And even in the class, all the teachers, everyone behaved very strictly with him. Everyone started imposing all those discipline on him. So what happened was, recently when I met him, he is a perfectionist now. No one can even point fingers at him, because in that childhood, whatever that had happened with him, everyone was pointing fingers at him. So normally what happens is, the people whoever goes through things like that, they become opposite. Their core fear is, they don't want to be bad, they don't want to go wrong, they don't want anyone to point fingers at them. They always want to show themselves that I am perfect, I do everything perfectly. So there is this inner child that is hurt there. So automatically there will be something that will be trying to protect you, so that no one else can hurt you in the future. So that protection layer, that becomes perfect, so that in their life no one will be able to point their fingers at them. That in that way they become that perfectionist. They want everything to be perfect, even at home, job, wherever you go. No one will point fingers at them. Everyone will look at them like, oh wow, he's a perfectionist. Whatever he does in a very beautiful way, or very, he has that great planning. He's a perfect guy. So most of the women or men, they look for this perfect partner sometimes initially, but then what happens is, slowly after they get along, or even if you have that perfectionist in your family, then what happens is, as they are perfect, they want the others to be perfect. So they will have this suppressed anger inside them. They'll be repressing that anger, that leads to continuous frustration and also dissatisfaction with themselves and others and the world for not being perfect. So every time they want others to be perfect, and so they'll be feeling so bad, and so, I mean, so much anger will be there. So even I'll just take a simple example. Uh, just a couple of years ago, I went to one of my uncle's place. My dear friends, here I'll be taking a lot of examples so that everyone can understand. But most of the times I try not to directly take their names, or I'll try to change the gender or location. But in case if you relate, please do understand that it is only for the good of everyone that I'm taking those examples. So uh, so a couple of years ago when I went to this uncle's place, they're almost in their 50s or 60s, and the auntie, she was complaining that uncle always, every time, he tells her to switch off the light. Sometimes when she's in a hurry, she just goes into the living room without switching off the light in the kitchen. But he completely changes his face, his emotion is changed and everything. You did not switch off the light. And then he goes and then he switches off, or just he asks her, go and switch off the light first. And she'll be trying to explain that, oh, I'm just getting some water, and the water is in my hand, so let me switch it off, it's okay, it's just for a few minutes. And automatically there will be so much of frustration and anger that I saw in that uncle. Then as they both are meditators and they're very open, so I sat with them and I spoke with them that, why exactly is this happening, uncle? How are you feeling when others doesn't switch off the light? And he says that, I feel so angry, I feel so frustrated, I don't understand why people don't understand these small things. These are very small things I have been telling for her for years, but she doesn't listen. My dear friends, just observe these patterns in your life. It is not just about that uncle or auntie, but in our lives. Sometimes our partner may be like that, or sometimes even we are like that, or you may be like that. Just observe. Some ladies, they want everything perfectly. So that wet towel used after the bath, they want it to be hanged, and the husband always forgets. It's absolutely fine to teach discipline to the kids and to teach discipline, and it is good to put it in place. But what happens here is that perfectionist, they'll be having so much frustration when people are not doing that. So that is important. Here it's not just about discipline, but it is about how are they feeling inside. It is not good for them emotionally if they are feeling this continuously every day. So it is not good for them. So, my dear friends, first observe if you are a perfectionist, and then see if there are any perfectionists in your life. If you are a perfectionist, start changing from this moment. At least when you understand, when you acknowledge where exactly it is coming from, automatically the change happens. But if there are any perfectionists in your life, please do understand them and communicate with them. Just tell them it's okay. We don't have to be perfect all the time. It's okay if I switch off the light after a few minutes. Or just lovingly communicate to them. Do you mind going and switching off? I'm so sorry, I did not switch it off. It's okay to say sorry, because their emotion, they'll be so angry, so frustrated, because it is there from their childhood. They have been carrying for so many years. If you get into an argument like, oh, why don't you go and switch off the light, or why are you yelling at me all these years, why do you do this every time, it will not go anywhere, because they are like that. So it is about communication. So it is that puzzle not many people understand. Now when you understand those people, you understand why they are behaving like that, so that you can fix the puzzle. You can communicate in a loving way. So it's very important, because they are not so balanced, or they always want to be right and virtuous, and always they want to be good. So even if they go elsewhere, when I met some people in my life, even if they come to my home just for a visit, for few hours or for one day, but still they'll just get into the kitchen, and they um, sorry, it is another example. I think I'm mixing, so I'll just take this example later so that it will be more clear, because it's a mixture of perfectionist and helper. So I don't want to get into there and confuse you. So this is the perfectionist attitude, my dear friends. So it's mainly about everything that they want to be perfect. So even the smallest things, as I mentioned, even the comb or a pen or whatever it may be, they want it to be at the exact same place. I'm sure you might be having such people in your life. You can just share it in the comments if you have any such people in your life. Just say yes. Okay, looks like as I'm sharing, I'm not able to see the chat screen.
I see only one reply. Abhiram has said yes.
Okay. So my dear friends, yeah, I can
So
see the chat.
some comment. Monica commented. I don't want to take the name. Sorry. So myself to same extent. Some commented yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can see the chat screen now. Yeah, people are saying yes, and myself to some extent. Yes, my dear friends. So please do understand those perfectionists in your life. It was me one when people don't listen and do what I want. Bossy behavior. Yes, we'll go to the bossy behavior as well. Yes. Okay, good. So, as I mentioned here, the core fear is being wrong, being bad, and they don't want others to point fingers at them. And the core desire, we have to understand these things, my dear friends. The core fear is being wrong, being bad, and the core desire is always want to be good, always want to be right. So, but the core weakness here is anger and frustration. So, most of the times they'll be having this continuous frustration and dissatisfaction with themselves and others for not being perfect. Sometimes they look at the world and they'll be complaining, why is this world not perfect and everything. So the core longing is you are good. So they want everyone to tell them that they are good. So if there are any perfectionists in your life, acknowledge them. It's okay to say that they are good. It gives them so much of energy, so much of joy and happiness if you say them that they are good. Because it is that inner child that is craving for other people to tell them that they are good. But my dear friends, all this inner child work is required to clear these core fears. When you understand and acknowledge what is your core fear or what is your core longing, then you can start changing. Because once you listen to all these things, start observing from now on and every day for the next few days. Understand your type and observe how you're behaving every day. Then you will know. As you acknowledge, slowly you'll be able to change it. And as you observe the patterns of others, you'll understand why they are behaving in that way. Then you'll have so much of love and compassion towards them because they are like that because of their something that has happened in their childhood. And we all take these different personality types based on our childhood or sometimes because for our learning, because everyone comes onto this planet to have their own learning, their own experience. So, by choosing this particular personality type, they choose their own way of living. They have their own experiences and they connect to their life plan. But once you understand, you can completely evolve, my dear friends, because the perfectionist can be very good at few things, maybe um, an interior designer or some architecture, or they are good at their own in their own way they are good. So we'll go to the next category, my dear friends, that is helper or the supportive advisor. So the helpers are always helping other people. So they're very generous and people pleasing and very thoughtful about others. I want to help uh, everyone. I'll do everything for them. They'll just go beyond their boundaries and they want to help others. So even there are some people in my life like that. So most of the times, what happens is, my dear friends, these helpers uh, every time they go beyond to help others, even if they don't have money or they were about to buy a house but still a friend asked for something else, they just want to give away. Like so many things like that happens. Whatever, they just don't care about themselves, they automatically just put the other people first. And especially it becomes so much hard for their family members if any helper is there in their family. For others it's good. If you have any friend that is helper, that's great, they will always help you, putting you first. But if your family members are helpers, then you will suffer. You'll always feel like, oh, they don't give much priority to me because they always give priority to other people. Or if you are a helper, sometimes you'll be like, okay, I'm really helping them. You'll be thinking that because in this society, when people help other people, they're regarded as, oh, they're very nice people, they're very good. So you'll be having this tag as very good and that people pleasing. But somewhere there will be no satisfaction. Always you'll try to search for that satisfaction by pleasing other people. When the people say that, oh, you're such an amazing guy or you're such an amazing girl, you always help other people. So in those things, they try to search for their happiness, search for their satisfaction. So because here the core fear is being rejected and unwanted, and also being thought worthless or unworthy of love. So it may be something like in their childhood, there may be 4 or 5 siblings, or it may be a joint family of so many cousins, and no one really recognizes this person. Then what he does is, when the family members share some food with everyone, maybe we'll just take an example of some chocolates or anything. If they share those chocolates with everyone, so instead of eating, what he'll do is, because no one is really looking at him, he is always rejected and unwanted, and he always feel that I'm not worthy of love. So what he does is, he'll give away that chocolate to other person, or he will share that food with other people, and then they will give him love, they will show some attention, they'll say, at least they'll start talking with them. And because of this automatically, this personality type, it comes, my dear friends. From then on, every time they think that, okay, if I give whatever that I have, or if I put the other people first, they will look at me, so they will love me. Because the main thing is here, they feel that they're not worthy of love. It's because only if I give away all my things, or only if I people please, then only I'll get this love. Then only I feel like I'm wanted and I'm not rejected. So this is there, my dear friends. Please keenly observe if you are one of them, or if any of your family members, or even relatives, or anyone, your friends, acquaintances, they're always helping. So it's good to help, my dear friends. I'm not telling here not to help, but you just have to understand where exactly that helping nature is coming from. So even now, after knowing this, after understanding this, you can still help, but you can help from a different emotional state. You're always loud, but still I can help people from compassion, from love. That should be there. So when you're listening to all these things, I'm not asking you to become a different person. It is just to understand yourself and understand the other people in your life. Because if there's a helper in your family, I'll just take an example. So this couple with a very young child, I think the child was just under 1 year old. They went to a party, and then after the party was over, already the wife is so tired, and she was breastfeeding, she really wanted to get back home, and it was already late in the night, like around 11 o'clock or something, and her husband is a helper. So as he's a helper, automatically he wants to help people. So there was one other lady, and uh, her driver did not come. She was booking her taxi, she was so comfortable and booking her taxi. So instead of letting her book her taxi, he was insisting that I'll drop you. And she was telling, no, it's okay. Your baby is so tired. Let her go to sleep. Let your wife go to sleep. Even though she's telling that, but still that husband is trying to push her. No, that's okay. They'll be fine. They can just sleep in the car. And it's okay. It is just 20 minutes away, or whatever, that he was trying to tell all these things. And here the wife is so tired and she's so frustrated inside. She couldn't say anything outside because he is a helper. And if she talks anything, she'll become bad. So that was the situation. So most of the times, the helpers' family members suffer because the helpers they go too much and try to help people. So the core weakness, the core desire here is being appreciated, loved, and wanted. And the core weakness is denying your own needs and emotions while using your amazing intuition to discover and focus on the emotions and needs of others. And also, always giving your helpful support in hope that others will say how grateful you are and how thoughtful you are, how much caring you are. So these are the words that they love to hear, and they subconsciously do this. If you actually go and talk to a person, so my dear friends, the one important thing is if any helper is there in your family, just directly don't go to them and tell all these things that you only help because you want others to say that you are very great, or you're very careful, or I mean you're very thoughtful, you're very caring. They'll not agree. They will not agree at all. They'll just say that, oh, this is my good nature. You don't have that nature. So always this mask is there because they want to protect themselves because of some inner child hurt. Because this is their personality type. So if you're one of them, understand. And if any of your family members are like that, please do understand them. They are like that. But slowly tell them and talk with them, communicate with them. And if possible, show them this video and talk about how helpers behave and where it may be coming from. Just help them in such a way that they'll be able to understand their inner child, where exactly it is coming from. So that's important, my dear friends. And yeah, can anyone type in the chat window if you are a helper, or if anyone in your family, friends, or acquaintances are helpers? Just say yes. You don't even have to say that yes, it's me. Only if you're comfortable you can say that, or else you can just tell me if there are any helpers, whoever is viewing here. Yes, I think I'm getting quite a number of yeses. Okay, yes, wonderful. Okay, so many people here are helpers, and some of them have their family members are as helpers. Yeah, and one lady, she's saying that yes, my husband same way. Oh yeah, I completely understand. When a helper is there in the family members do suffer a lot because they cannot even say anything to them because everyone thinks that they're so good. And also, um, if you want to say anything, automatically you will feel that, oh, maybe I am like this, he's always helping, maybe it's just me, so let him help. And unknowingly you will start feeling bad. Mainly, my dear friends, I just want to tell here is, whoever is there in your family, if there's any helper in your family, most importantly, do not feel bad about yourself. Do not feel guilty about yourself that you are not helping and he is helping or they are helping. So that's very important. And here the lady is telling that whatever the situation that I have explained, in that situation, I get another car and I come leaving him. Okay. Okay, that's good in a way. But sometimes what happens is, if a lady does like that, the other lady who is waiting, even she may feel bad, or again the husband may feel bad, or after coming home there may be a very big fight over this, and all these things may happen. So sometimes the ladies, they'll be just be quiet and they could not say no. So all these things may happen. There's nothing right or wrong. So act according to the situation, and but please do communicate how you're feeling, at least after that or before that, because you know the pattern is repeating again and again. So understand, when you understand, you'll be able to fit into that puzzle, because every time if you don't understand, they're always a puzzle for you. Why are they always like this? So it will be like a puzzle, and you'll not be fitting that, you'll not be able to fit that puzzle anywhere. that puzzle piece anywhere into your life. But when you start understanding and acknowledging and showing love and compassion, slowly you'll be able to put those puzzles together. And automatically, they will also start changing in a good way. Yeah. So the next type is the successful achiever. Um, the successful achiever is like just a normal achiever or a successful achiever. They always want to be successful. They want to achieve everything. It is slightly different from a perfectionist, my dear friends. Understand here. Perfectionist is always want to be perfect. Sometimes they may be successful or may not be successful. They may just be a waiter or a mechanic, but still they're very disciplined, and whatever they plan, they do it. But this here, the achiever is different. They just achieve so many things. They're very successful in their life. They're very efficient, always driven or motivating, accomplished, and also sometimes image conscious. So here, the core fear is being thought as incompetent or inefficient or worthless, or people should not tell them that they're always failing. So they always want to appear successful, always want to appear to be successful, my dear friends. But there will be so much pain inside them. The core desire is having high status and respect, being admired, successful, and valuable. So this is their core desire. They always want to be respected, admired. And the core weakness is deceiving themselves into believing that you are only the image you present to others. Because what happens is they're always about this image conscious. They don't actually look inside them. How are they looking outside? That becomes more important all their life. So always embellishing the truth by putting on a polished persona for everyone. So most of the times what happens is here, sometimes they even put this polished persona for themselves and they admire themselves. I'll just tell an example. Just one other thing is the core longing here will be the main thing, the longing that is deep inside them is you are loved for simply being you. That is their core longing. So this may be coming from a hurt inner child where a person or a kid, they failed in a subject or they failed in multiple subjects. And suddenly, after coming home, when their parents got to know that the child has failed and the kid's father is a teacher, so he felt so ashamed in front of everyone. And after coming home, he started hitting the child using the words that now I cannot even go out and show my face to anyone because of you. You failed in all the subjects. I cannot go outside and show my face to anyone because he failed in all the subjects. So it's not about becoming successful. It is not about uh, getting good marks in the subject. But here they were emphasizing about other people, that I cannot show my face in front of others. The same thing, exactly the opposite he becomes. So he becomes successful and he is very confident about showing his face to others. That is the protective layer automatically that forms when such things happen. So when the father uses these words that I'm not able to show my face, every time it will be there inside their head, subconsciously, every time. I want to show my face. I will be able to show my face confidently, and everyone will appreciate. But the core longing here is you're allowed for simply being you. Recently, my dear friends, I met this guy. So he just came with one of my friends to my house very recently. And as he was talking, he was telling me that I really wanted to ask something to you, but I'm not really sure what to ask. And as I was talking with my friend, I just told him that you can think about it, whatever you want to ask, as I'm talking with her. So after a few minutes, he told me that he's very, very successful. He has all the riches in the world and he's so successful. You name it, he has it. It is like that. So he's a CEO of a very big company, and he has so many branches and so many things. And he was just telling me, and then he told that somehow I don't. Oh, he did. Sorry, he did not tell me. He was just telling me this, and I just asked him, "Are you really satisfied, or is there any void inside you?" As soon as I asked this question, my dear friends, tears started rolling from his eyes. He's a very elderly person and is so successful. But as soon as I asked this, it triggered deep inside and just tears were flowing. And I told him, I'm sure I know that you'll not be happy. You're not satisfied. And how much ever you are successful, you want to be more successful. And he was telling me that, yes, though he's a CEO for a company, he just wants to buy something else, or he just want to go on reading, and he has some so many PGs and doctorates and so many things. He continuously studies and gets all these degrees. So even as he's so elder, he doesn't even take rest. He always wants to study. Now he was telling he's just studying something which is not at all related to his field, or which is not at all important, but still he's like, no, I don't know, I cannot just sit still, or during this lockdown period, he just started studying something which is not at all related and which is not even his passion, just because he cannot sit like that. He want to continuously achieve and achieve and achieve. So when I asked him if anything like that happened, then he sat into meditation and he realized that at a very younger age, the same example that I told, that everyone were pointing out at him that he's not at all successful, and his grandfather was hitting him because his grandfather was a great image in his village, and this guy, he failed in some subjects. So the grandfather was hitting him, and the parents were not helping him. So from then on, he has decided that, okay, I'll be very successful, more successful than my grandfather. And his grandfather is already filthy rich, and he doesn't even take a penny from his grandfather's, or he doesn't take that ancestral money, because he just want to continuously be that successful person, always that achiever. The whole of his village looks at him, but still he is not happy, my dear friends. So please do understand, it is not about becoming successful. It is important in one's life, but at the same time, that satisfaction, that happiness is also important. There comes a junction in your life where suddenly you realize how much ever you have, or whatever you have, gain name or fame or money or whatever it may be, there will be this point in your life where the happiness is more important. Sometimes you'll start questioning yourself. What am I doing? Sometimes some people, they may not even realize and just the life goes on. But in some incarnation, they'll just come to this point and then they'll start looking for this happiness. Maybe for him who came to me, that point, it was like, this is completely a transforming point in my life. Because he told me that exactly same like him, his kids have become. Because the same pattern you push onto your kids and their kids. So it just goes on. So that is about successful achiever, my dear friends. And yeah, if you have any uh, family members, or if you are one of those successful achievers, just type it in the chat window. We'll see how many are there. Okay. I see someone privately sharing, and someone is saying that, yeah, my daughter is like that. Yeah, please do understand, ma'am, if your daughter is like that, observe if you or your husband is like that. Or sometimes what happens is, if you are living, or if she was living with their grandparents or whoever it may be, or sometimes even in the hostel, if kids are living in the hostel, they'll be looking at this teacher figure that they really like, and they want to become like that. Or sometimes the other people, they push this discipline, they push that you have to become successful. Or maybe because of some shame that had happened during the childhood days, they're always successful. So yeah, someone is saying my friend, and yes, okay, good. So just understand those people, my dear friends. And if you are one of them, please start working on yourself. It's absolutely amazing to be successful in this world. But there's no point in becoming successful if you are not satisfied and if you're not happy inside. Just understand this. So if anyone in your family or relationship is like this, just do understand them. Because if your spouse or any family members is like this, they always are workaholic, they always focus on success, they always focus on only achieving and achieving and achieving. They don't spend time with the family. So here the family members may feel that loss, that why is he behaving like that? Already we are so rich, already he is so successful, but still why does he want to do like that, or why does she wants to be like that? Maybe some ladies, they just put everything aside. They don't even want to take care of the kids. They just want to run away behind their career. They just want to become successful, get promoted, and get everything. Just because of this, my dear friends. Once you understand this pattern, just start working on them and break it. Whatever you want to achieve in your life, achieve that. But don't go from this emotional need. That is important. So we'll go to the next thing, next trait, that is individualist. Or in some places, they even say that the romantic individualist or the artist. So here they are very creative, very expressive, and authentic. So for them, the core fear is being inadequate or emotionally cut off. Or just people say that, oh, he's so mundane and plain, or defective or flawed, or just they're insignificant. They don't have their own identity or personal significance. So their core desire will be, they want to be unique, special. and authentic, to find themselves and their significance. They always have this desire to find themselves and their significance, to create that identity. So, the core weakness will be uh, feeling that you are tragically flawed, and something foundational is missing inside you. Always that feeling will be there, the core weakness, that something is missing inside me. And others possess good qualities and you lack those qualities. Always this will be there in their subconscious mind, that okay, everyone else possesses those qualities, and but I don't have these qualities. Something is missing inside me. Maybe I'm completely flawed, I'm foundationally, something is missing inside. So this will be there every time in their head. The inner voice will be telling them that something is wrong with you, something is missing inside. And the core longing here is you are seen and loved for exactly who you are, special and unique. So that is the core longing every time. They want to be seen and loved for whatever they are. So these people, they are very sensitive, and sometimes they're very reserved as well, but very self-aware, and they're emotionally very honest, creative, and also they're very personal. They want to be with themselves, and they're sometimes moody and self-conscious, uh, and they withhold themselves from others, because most of the times they feel that they are vulnerable and defective. So sometimes we see people, they don't really come and talk, and they don't really socialize, because uh, people may feel that they're so proud, but it is not about their being proud, or it's just about they feel so vulnerable and defective that they cannot come and mingle with others. They can also feel this disdainful and exempt from ordinary ways of living. So also they'll be having some problems of self-indulgence and self-pity, but at their best they are very inspired and highly creative. They are able to renew themselves and transform their experiences when they are at their best. So most of the artists, when they are best, beautiful things come through them, because they are very intuitive as well, my dear friends. They want to express themselves. So whatever the emotion that is there, whatever that is going on, any situation or anything that they see outside, they'll be able to beautifully depict. Either it may be a painting or a poem or a song or different artistic ways, very creative. They always want to surround themselves with this beauty, or they want to even create beauty. But it is very important for them to maintain certain moods and feelings, because most of the time they just want to withdraw themselves and to protect their self image, to take care of their emotional needs. They always want to take care of their emotional needs before attending to anyone else. So also this as it is called individualistic, sometimes um, they want to solve problems or accomplish goals, or do anything for themselves first, instead of thinking about others. So that's very important, my dear friends, here, because a lot of people, they just don't give importance to others. They always give importance to their own emotional needs. So when a person is like that in a family, the other persons may think that, oh, he's so selfish, he always thinks about himself, he doesn't take care of us, or he doesn't even care about our emotions. Because, my dear friends, here, as they are very sensitive, They think that, okay, let me take care of my needs, let me not get hurt. So better, let me not involve in others' emotions and others' dramas. They don't want to involve sometimes because they always want to take care of their emotional needs first, because they have these mood swings every time. So many mood swings and the feelings. So that is this individualistic nature. And the next one is the observer or the investigative thinker. So they are very insightful, intelligent, and perceptive. But most of the times they are also detached and isolated. So they're very alert, and they're very curious because they're like investigators. They always want to investigate everything. We see some people, they always ask questions. So even one of my aunt, she's an investigator. So when we go to their place, if anyone is talking on the phone, so even while they are talking, she'll just go and she'll be just looking at them, staring at them, and she'll ask, "Who is that? Who is that?" So it is like an investigator. So people may not like them sometimes, but they're always curious to know. They're also they're able to concentrate and focus on developing complex ideas and skills because they're investigative. Most of the scientists also fall under this category because they're very curious to know, like, why did the apple fall down? So they're curious to know, why did the apple fall down? And from there the whole thing started. So the in that way the scientists, they're very curious. In the same way, in your life, observe people who are very curious. Sometimes other people may be frustrated. Why are they involving too much into my life? Why are they asking too many questions? So sometimes you may feel that, but it is just their nature. They always want to be curious, but also they're innovative and inventive. As I mentioned, most of the scientists may fall into this category. So they're very inventive. And sometimes they also become preoccupied with their thoughts and imaginary constructs. So they are very independent, and though sometimes they may just come into others' lives and they just are curious about asking everything. But again, at times, they become very detached. And that detachment may be very intense sometimes. So they'll be isolated. So at their best, they become scientists. At their best, they may be some visionary pioneers, and visionary pioneers because often ahead of their time, because always they have these great visions. And they'll be able to see the world in a completely new way. Sometimes we may not be able to think in that way, visualize in that way, but these people, they want to look at this world in a completely entirely new way. So maybe this electric cars, or maybe this invention of bulb, or maybe this invention of telephone, or invention of airplane. So for us, or for normal people, for other people, it may not be even, they cannot even imagine flying in the air. But these people, they can actually visualize and start investigating, start being curious, and they can be able to create completely new things. And they'll be able to use all the logic, and they can solve very high, very complex problems. So they most of the people work with their head. Please, everyone, go on mute. So the Co-host, can you please make everyone mute? Yeah, thank you. So my dear friends, yeah, they are very intelligent, as I mentioned, and uh, they use their mind most of the times. The helpers, whereas the helpers and so the helpers, they use their heart most of the times, but these people, the investigators, they use their mind. So they don't really want to associate with people because they're not heart centered people, they're mainly head centered people. So if such people are there in your life, sometimes you may be feeling that they're not emotionally attached to you. So they may seem very practical, but they have their own fears, my dear friends. The basic fear here is being useless or helpless, or being thought incapable or ignorant. So that is their main fear, and the basic desire is to be capable and competent. The core weakness is feeling that you lack inner resources, and that too much interaction with others will lead to depletion of your energy, withholding yourself from contact with the world, holding on to your resources and minimizing your needs. Core longing is your needs are not a problem. That is their core longing. So we'll go on to the next type. I'm conscious about time. Okay, it's 7:05. Okay, so the next one is the loyal guardian, or the skeptic. They're always skeptic, suspicious in doing anything. Always they have this, they're very anxious to take any step. They cannot risk. So every time, is it okay? They cannot make any decision. The decision making is very tough for them. They always ask the other family people. My dear friends, if anyone is there like that in your family, please do support them, because it is not very easy for them to make decisions. They become so anxious. It may be a small decision. If sometimes your wife comes and asks, what should I make today, or what curry, or what curry should I make today, just help her in that decision making. Or if your husband comes and says what to bring today, don't say that, oh, you can bring anything, whatever is available in the shop. Instead of that, say, if there are tomatoes and potatoes, just get them. But if there is anything available, and if you like it, you get them too. First, give them that options, because they'll be so confused. They'll not be able to take that decision. I'm sure there may be people in your life like that, or you may be one of them. It is not so easy to take that decision. You're always suspicious. Will it be okay if I take this decision? Will it be okay if I make this curry? Will my kids like it? Will my husband like it? Or how much, or how many, from how many years you're making it? Again, you'll feel the same thing. You cannot take that simple decision. And that's okay. Do not feel bad about it. Do not feel guilty about it. If you are like that, that's okay. First, accept it. First, understand your pattern, and then accept it, acknowledge it, and then slowly start transforming it. Someone is asking how to break that pattern. Like, for example, in this case, they'll not be able to take those decisions. So start from small decisions, like whatever that you want to wear, the dress that you want to wear today, or the curry that you want to cook today, or anything. Very start with small decisions. And once you make that decision, appreciate yourself. And if your family members can understand you, tell them it's okay, just communicate with them. I think this is my problem, I'll not be able to make decisions, so please help me. So once you, today I'll make this curry, I'll, so just, it's okay to talk openly, please appreciate me. And once you make that curry, if they appreciate, just appreciate yourself. Mostly, my dear friends, this will be coming from an inner child, where the kid, they took some decision of painting something on a wall or something, And suddenly the mom comes or the dad comes or whoever comes, the teacher or whoever, and this, if they start hitting the child or suddenly start yelling, why did you paint on the wall? My dear friends, it's okay to teach kids discipline, but if you suddenly do this, the whole of this personality, their personality changes. The sudden yelling or sudden hitting will not help them or will not help you or will not erase whatever he has drawn on the wall. So, in the same way, whatever decision they were taking during their childhood, if
Meeting.
parents were not accepting, the parents are not accepting their
Oh
decision.
no, I'm leaving the meeting. You can only join the meeting on the phone. If you bring me the
So, what happens in this case is they'll not be able to take decisions going further because whenever they took decisions, it went wrong or no one appreciated their decision. So they'll always be skeptic. So this is mainly about the skeptic, and the core fear is feeling always fearful, and sometimes they may not feel that support or security. They always feel that okay, someone else should guide me, or if I take this decision, maybe I'll be blamed. So being blamed is one of the core fear. So I will be targeted, and everyone will blame me. So that is the core fear inside them. And the core desire is having security, guidance, and support. So if any one of your family members are like that, please support them, guide them. If they want to take any decision, help them. Help them in taking that decision. So the guidance will be important because in the future, going forward, they'll be able to take their decisions and just encourage them to take some small decisions in their life. In that way, they'll be able to take their decisions. And especially with your kids, when they are taking any decisions for them, that like choosing one dress or choosing anything, it's okay, let them choose. Or sometimes if you're going to a party or something, if they're choosing some random dress, you can tell them that no, it's not good, it's better if you wear it, that's okay. But every day, do not force your decisions on them. Give them that space to make their own decisions. That's very important, my dear friends. So the core longing here is you are safe, no one will judge me. That is the core longing. And going to the next type, that is enthusiast or fun loving or the entertaining or optimist. So they're always playful, they're always exciting, but they are also escapists. They have this escapism. They'll just make fun and they'll just be around, socialize. They'll just create the whole environment in a fun way, but they don't actually work. You might be seeing a lot of people in your workplace or maybe in your families. They're so playful. They just talk, they just make the environment completely, they shift the energies of the environment, but they don't work. They're always escapist when it comes to actually work. So I remember, I don't want to take the names, but I remember seeing some interview of a director. He says that he really loves keeping his um, friend who is always entertaining and who is always optimist. He even pays them more than his assistant directors, but he doesn't do any job. He doesn't, absolutely doesn't do anything. But the director says, if he's just with me, if he's just sitting beside me, I just feel so happy. I just feel so in the moment. Instead of feeling stress and anxiety, I'm in the moment and I'm feeling so good. And I really don't mind paying him. But I know that he doesn't work at all. And I'm okay with that. So in that way, these people are very fun-loving, exciting, playful, but they don't really work. So their core fear here is being trapped in emotional pain, or being bored, or missing out on something fun, being deprived. Always they want to uh, be in this joyful mode. But my dear friends, sometimes these people, they may be having some emotional pain inside them, and they are just on the surface. They always want to be fun loving, they always want to be optimistic, they always try to say positive things. But deep inside, there may be something that is going on, or that might have went on in their childhood, that they were not able to clear that. So in these cases, they become like this. Like, for example, there is some situation going on in their family where, as a kid, they were not able to handle, or they were not able to um, make peace with other people. So what he does is, he'll just go out and he'll just start making fun and of whoever they are fighting, the family members whoever are fighting. When the other people are coming and looking at them, so instead of feeling bad, suddenly he'll change and he'll just make fun of whatever that is happening. So the other people who are looking at their family members who are having any, whoever is shouting or having any fight or anything, suddenly they start looking at him and listening to his jokes instead of focusing on whatever that is happening. So that is like escapism. He's actually escaping from whatever that is happening and always trying to be playful, because he cannot face it and he cannot change it. He doesn't have that energy to change it. So he'll just escape from that. So in that way, slowly they start escaping from life, from everything that they are doing. Because wherever they go, if they are making fun and if they are just being very positive and like this, so not many people will really focus on what they are doing, because people will love to be with that type of people where they are very fun loving. So the core desire here is being happy, being fully satisfied and content. Most of the times they're not really happy inside. So core weakness here is feeling a great emptiness inside. They feel so much empty inside them. They don't really feel satisfied and content. Core longing is you will be taken care of. That is their core longing. So they want everyone to tell them that you will be taken care of. So going to the next type, my dear friends, the protective challenger or the controller. So they are very, very assertive, self-confident, intense. But sometimes they may feel like they are big-hearted, but they always want to control everything. So there may be some of the head of your families, or some of your bosses, or some of your family members are like this. They want to control everything that is happening. They want to be that boss. They want to dominate. The dominating personality is inside them. So here there may be something like that, like in their childhood, when they are weak, people might not have heard them. So a person in my life, a very close relative of me, he was very thin and very short than his younger sister. The younger sister, she used to look very tall, but everyone used to ask him, "Are you the younger one?" So he used to feel very bad. And so he just wants to become so bigger than her, because he was just very young. Sometimes the girls grow up very fast, but after his intermediate or degree, the main thing inside him is, I want to become very strong, and I want to become, I want to get a good height. So even his father had a good height, so he became very strong and he has a good height now. But he started controlling because everyone was controlling him when he was a kid, because he looked very short, very lean, very weak. Now he's so strong, so energetic, and so his height is very, very good height. And then he started controlling others because everyone was controlling him. So he became a very good boss. He started his own company. So he started controlling everything there. Because in the childhood, everyone was controlling him. The same thing, I want to control everyone. So that thing came and he started controlling everyone. And the core fear here is being weak. The fear from there, this has arisen. So it is being weak, powerless, or they feel so vulnerable, or manipulated, or controlled, harmed. And the core desire is protecting themselves. Protecting themselves, and sometimes it is also about protecting those in their inner circle. Because something might have happened in their childhood where the parent was not able to protect their family members because he was weak. So he will fix in his subconscious mind that, okay, I'll become strong and I'll protect my family. So always about protecting the family, controlling. They'll not allow, sometimes it may be something like they may not allow the kids to go out and have party, or because they always want to protect. They don't want them to go out and play. So too much of protection, too much of controlling will be there. Sometimes it is suffocating for the other people in the family because they don't feel that space. So my dear friends, if you are like that, please do give some space to your family members because they don't feel comfortable. They feel so suffocated. And see where exactly this nature is coming from. So once you observe and acknowledge, it will be very easy for you to change. It may not happen one day, but slowly we'll be able to change once you're observing that pattern. So the next type, the last one, is peaceful mediator. So they're very accommodating, they're very peaceful, and they're very thoughtful as well. And they reassure people that everything is fine. Oh, it's okay. They want to make peace everywhere. So these people, they want to be these mediators, and they want to be that peacemakers. If there's any conflict going on anywhere, even if they're just going on a road, and if there's something that is happening outside, a small fight, they'll just stop their vehicle, go there and see, oh, what is happening, and they'll just try to stop them. They are these peacemakers. So they'll say that, okay, if not me, who will take care? As a responsible citizen, we have to do this, and all these things will be there. My dear friends, it's okay to be that peacemaker. It will be very helpful for the society. But please do observe where it is coming from. Most of the times it may be coming from when in your childhood, when the parents are fighting, or someone in your close family are fighting. You always go between them and you try to make peace. And because of that, they stopped fighting. And then you'll feel so powerful. Oh, it's because of me they stopped fighting. I am the peacemaker. So let me just stop all the fights in the world. They'll be having this mindset. But the core fear is they feel so much tensed. And they feel being in that conflict and losing connection with others. Because especially when the parents are fighting, they may be losing that connection. So losing that connection with others, overlooked. So the core desire here is having inner stability and peace of mind. That is what they have to develop. The desire will be there, always to be in that peaceful state, having inner stability and peace of mind. Core weakness is remaining in an unrealistic and idealistic world in order to keep the peace. Remain easygoing and not be disturbed by your anger. So, here the core longing will be your presence matters. That will be their core longing. So, they want everyone to tell them that your presence matters. So, that is their core longing. So, my dear friends, once you understand all these different personality types, however you are behaving or however the other people are behaving, so then you will know, you will understand the puzzles of all those relationships. Once you understand the puzzles of those relationships, it will be easy for you to put together and make this puzzle completely. You will be able to fix that puzzle and it will be beautiful because every piece is different in the puzzle. In the same way, we are all different in our own way. Every person has come onto this planet Earth to have their own experience. So ultimately, we are not just these personality types. We are those pure divine beings who are in these human bodies to have this experience. But it will help us to understand ourselves, to realize ourselves, and to be happy with all the relationships that we have in our lives. So with that, my dear friends, I would like to end the session here. And if anyone has any questions or any comments, you can just share. You can raise your hand and you can talk.
Thank you, Prana ma'am, for the wonderful session. It's an eye-opening for everyone to understand where we are blocking and what are our thought patterns and what type of a person we are and what type of a person's all around us. Thank you for your wonderful session. Hello all, you can raise your hands and we can talk to Prana ma'am.
There are some comments. I'm just seeing if there are any questions. Sorry, my dear friends, I didn't see in between as my chat window did not open between. So, okay, thank you so much for your wonderful session. Thanks, ma'am, for this useful session. And someone was asking how to break it, and I think I already answered that. Okay. Okay, my dear friends, if no one has anything, we can close the session, or if anyone has anything, you can just type it in the chat window, or you can just raise your hands if you have any questions or any feedback, any comments. So this 12-day workshop, we are talking about all the relationships, different types of relationships, and reinventing your relationships. So please do utilize this opportunity and share it with your family and friends, because it's not just about you, my dear friends. If you change, it may not be completely, there may not be a difference in your family life. So, but if this wisdom is shared with all your family members, it will help you all. Of course, the change has to start from you, but it will be helpful if all your family members know this wisdom so that they will understand their own patterns and they'll be understanding your patterns. So today, just very, very clearly after this session, make a note of your personality type and start observing, and especially your personality type and your close members' personality types, or whoever that you interact with for a long time during the day or night. So maybe your boss, your spouse, your kids, or your parents, start their personality types. And next time, observe and do not get into an argument. Just understand them, acknowledge them, and be compassionate and loving towards them. Just show that love towards them. So once with that, only with that love and compassion, we'll be able to transform all these relationships. We'll be able to reinvent all these relationships. So with that, my dear friends, I would like to end the session today.
Yeah.
And thank you all so much. And
Thank you all. Thank you all. Tomorrow we'll have a session on relationship with the mother by Dr. Preeti. So please attend tomorrow's session as well, as it's really important for us to remove all our blocks, what we have. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.